What's up, everybody, and welcome back to All the Things Sort of Truth. The best podcast ever, if you ask me. See, you all thought I was going to say something different, but I didn't this time. I switched it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised, too.
Maybe it's because I'm super clever and can come up with things on the fly, and maybe it's because, I mean, we're only 4 minutes late. If you guys noticed, we totally made it on time. Well, ish. Closer than normal, and maybe I had to rush and hit the button to get here, but 6:04, I think we did pretty good. Cheers, JD. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jade.
And today we are talking about Wizard's First Rule. Not just a chapter, not a page, the whole book.
Whole damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about right off the bat was Jade had this idea. I know I mentioned this in the last episode, but it was Jade's idea. She had mentioned to me, hey, you know what would be cool is if we could read one of the books that we like. She was implying the Sort of True series. And then we did like a podcast because she knows I'm nerdy and I do microphones and I like to record music. And she's like, we could record that podcast reading about the book. And then, you know, if there's people out there who also like them and also listen to podcasts, then like that could be a thing. We could have people.
That could be our people.
Yeah, exactly. They could be our people. And gosh, I think we put our first episode up in August.
I think so. It's hard to keep track of everything.
Yeah. Well, but that's like what, 7 or 8 months ago.
Yeah.
And okay, so by my reckoning, there's probably close to 150 of you listening every week. And I'm just blown away by that. Every time I look at our little page that shows us, you know, not who you are, but like where you are and what you've downloaded, it just keeps going up. And I just, JD, cheers to you. I know. I said that with surprise in my voice. Like, holy shit, they're listening. But I can't overstate that more. I'm really proud of what we've done so far. And I think it's a really cool thing.
Me too. And hey, like, look, there's people actually like listening.
Yeah. We've been live for 3 minutes and we already have a few people with us. Like, it's just so cool. Thank all of you for being here.
Hi, Al and Jared and
Jenna Lee and Samantha.
I wanted to make sure I said it the right way.
It's a little far away. I didn't want to squint and be like, Jenna Lee. And her be like, no, they said my name one time and got it wrong.
Flubbed the whole thing.
Jenna Lee.
I wonder why episode 46 might be your favorite, Al.
It's because of my pre-mentioned cleverness, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We all know what happens when Nate goes off a script.
But we really just wanted this episode to be like an open forum about the whole first book and really not worry so much about spoilers or any of those constraints because we do stay so tied down to chapter when we go weekly.
You were going to say live.
Yeah, I don't know. I lost my train at the end there.
No, I totally know what you're saying. We go chapter by chapter. So if we know something happens in a chapter that connects to something 10 chapters from now, we kind of have to stay mum on it because there are people who listen to the podcast who haven't gotten all the way through the series, or more importantly, haven't even finished the book yet. And we don't want to ruin it for anybody. That's kind of half the fun of reading a new book or a new series.
But I also think it's important to have these episodes where everyone's free to talk about that because that's one of the things I was most excited to talk about on the podcast.
Right.
Even though I forget shit, okay? I know I forget. But I'm excited to be like, hey, remember back from book 1? This is the thing that I was talking about.
Well, that, and sometimes, we have been told, like, hey, that's because of this thing, right? And we haven't said it on the podcast, but it's like, yeah, I mean, we know. Not everything. We don't know everything. Not by a long shot. But yeah, we, like Jade said, we wanted to be able to open this up so we could talk about whatever comes to mind. Hello, our cat has just joined us. What's up, buddy? And so you guys too, like, I kind of wanted to talk about your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, some themes, anything that stuck out to you or you guys wanted to bring up is fair game in this episode. No spoiler alerts necessary. So if you're listening right now and you're just joining us for whatever weird reason 8 minutes into the podcast, maybe that's mean. It is live.
Nate can be late, but you can't be late.
Right.
Just remember that.
But if there's anything you wanted to bring up, it's totally fair game. Oh, what I was going to say is, yeah, so if you're just now listening, feel free. We can see you guys on the chat. If you're listening on Spreaker.com, you can text us. Well, you could text us. Don't call us right now, though, because we're kind of doing a thing. But you can totally chat with us on Spreaker, and so we can talk back to you.
And it's fun.
It is fun.
I do want to say, we've said this a couple times, that we struggle with social media, and it's probably not a really great excuse. It's not. But we are going to try our best to up our game there, because I noticed, because I know that some of you aren't always up to date on the podcast, and sometimes it's easy for us to forget that. So, like, you might miss out on a giveaway or a live episode because we mention it during the episodes, but then we don't post about it like I should. I should be, like, spamming the Facebooks. I don't. And I need to do better at that. So I am going to work on it.
Me too. That's definitely my fault too. I know lately sometimes it's hard to look at social media because there's so much negative out there. But this is a positive thing.
Yeah, not on our Facebook. I was gonna say podcast, but I mean Facebook page.
Facebook page, right? Well, we do talk about some negative things, but no, in general, it should be easier for us to connect with you guys out there on that platform, and especially for like news about what we're doing. I think Jade is wow, I can't talk. Thank you. No rules beer. I think what Jade was referring to is literally moments before we went live, we saw someone on Facebook say, wait, there's another giveaway? And it occurred to us that, yeah, we had mentioned it on the podcast, but like she said, some of you aren't current, and that's okay. You listen when you can. Like, it's fine. Yeah. But had we put that out there on the Facebooks and the Twarts and the Insta Gs or whatever the kids are calling it nowadays, more of you would have been aware of that.
But we don't want you to fret. We are planning on doing more. We did one at the beginning of the book, and now we just did one at the end of the book. Or, well, it's not completely finished yet because we haven't announced the winner. But we'll do that.
Right.
But the plan going forward is to do one hopefully in the middle of the next book-ish, just to give us a little bit of time, a little break from it. But then we will definitely be, like, splashing it everywhere. So maybe you'll get annoyed.
Like, oh, another giveaway. Well, there is a store now, so there's plenty of stuff to give away. Yeah. Also, I want to add that I just recently heard there's more stuff that's going to be added to the store very, very soon.
I think I heard that, and then maybe it got delayed because of, like, Corona.
The Rona?
The Rona.
Oh. Yeah. Well, that's probably fair.
Like all of our lives.
I actually had a panic moment regarding the store. Again, just moments before going live. Might be why I'm still a little bit flustered. I was like, oh my God, Jade, we have everything ready. We still haven't gotten the item from the store that we said we're going to give away. And she goes, well, that's because we don't know the size of the person that's going to get it yet. And it makes total sense. I was like, oh my gosh, total bomb. And Jade's like, no, we're being smart about it. It's fine.
I mean, I didn't say that, but you make me sound.
Well, that's what that's what you said to me in Nate's mind. Jade was
That's
like,
what he hears.
relax, idiot. We got it covered. It's fine. Oh, man.
Sorry, that noise was probably annoying. That was our dryer that I
Yeah.
forgot to shut off.
Oh, Al's already given his sizes. He's like, what up? Money's on the table. Speaking of our, I guess, flounders, mine, per se. No, perfect. Recently, we had another oopsie. And our oopsie was concerning everybody's best buddy, Demon.
Yeah, it was the last episode, so we haven't gotten a chance to, correct it.
Yeah. We posted the episode, and actually, speaking of Al, he was like, hey guys, so that person you said walked into the Garden of Life with everybody, he actually died 2 chapters ago, pretty vividly. I think y'all will remember some testicle eating. Yeah, Demon was dead.
Yeah, he wasn't there.
He did not go into the Garden of Life for the final showdown. He was not there. He was just not in the picture at all, which is something I brought up later than on the Facebook, because Al was like, hey guys, so wrong? And it did get me thinking and made me ask another question. How come Dark and Raw didn't mention him not there? And again, Al had a pretty good answer. He was like, well, I mean, he assumed that Kaylin would have taken care of it. That's what his job was.
Yeah.
Go get her. And then he didn't come back and she did. 2 and 2. Yeah, Demon's gone.
It did make me think about how Chase got a really weird view of Kaylin's power. She's a confessor. Oh, but her magic brings Zed back from the dead. Oh, and she goes into the Kandar and she doesn't actually confess for Richard. I don't know. It's real weird. It's not consistent at all.
It's a power that does stuff, except that it doesn't actually do the stuff you want it to do.
Yeah.
And totally does some other stuff you had no idea that it did. I mean, Dark and Raw, being the guy who he is, has to be aware of some of these things. You would think. I mean, Zed knew about the Kandar. He may have never seen it, but he was aware it was a thing. And I guess I kind of put Dark and Raw and Zed on the same level, even though Zed's way better, so obviously he wins.
I assume Dark and Raw has some level of knowledge too. He comes in that room. He's not surprised by literally any of the events that have happened. And I don't know again, I don't know how far he could have pre-planned some of that, because some of it was a result of them seeing Richard and being worried that he was dead, and it was all a little bit convoluted, so I don't know how he could have planned it.
Right.
But he walked in yep, knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, he was pretty calm and collected at that point.
And he didn't even the lightning bolts on her face made out of the poison, totally chill about it.
Yeah, it freaked. I just read Jared's comment. He goes, scrumptious. I'm sure he's talking about the ball eating.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, we know that Dark and Richard was like, what the fuck? When he saw the lightning bolts. But Dark and Raw,